On a beautiful day, for students are summoned to another world. They're given special skills to save this world. It's called a warrior. BA people. Some of them have all these divine skills, with hegemonic moves. But our main character looks kind of lame. Your name is Long Hao Tian. And the skill that you've been given is the supermarket. I thought this skill was useless. But it turns out it's not trivial. The four were quickly taken to the king. Where they're summoned is the kingdom of peace, which is in a state of exhaustion. In politics and economics, the Maya are constantly harassed. Even so, the king was extremely well dressed. Notice this is not okay. He was looking for an excuse to leave the palace. The king gave him 20 gold coins as a living capital. While walking around, Long Hao Tian realized everyone around. He looked at me with suspicious eyes. To avoid attention, he decided to rent a nearby inn to rest his feet. Out of curiosity, Long Hao Tian tried to open up his status. Information appears quite normally as in the game you play. You have a first-level skill, is the evaluation of the penis. And a special skill is sponge surfing. You try to activate your shop's surfing skills, and a screen of items pops up. Find it interesting? Long Hao Tian decided to try some items, and pay by inserting coins into it. Just a moment later, items are shipped to full. Nothing missing. Originally, I think this skill is nothing special. But now you realize it's really useful. With this skill, just have money. You don't have to worry about food anymore. However, you've decided to leave this place first. The next morning, I was lucky enough to catch the last bus to the next town. In the car you talk to an uncle, and knew that his skills were rare. Only the brave have. Your uncle advised you to be more discreet to be safe. You also know that the peaceful kingdom is in a lot of trouble. The border is closed. And the people in the town. I advise you to leave as soon as possible. On the way, however, you may meet a magical beast that they have no fighting skills. So Long Hao Tian decided to go to the Adventurers Guild to hire an escort to the Fei Long Kingdom. The cost of an escort is 7 gold. It's expensive, but you still accept it. The captain of the escort was Fan Lam, the head of the Iron Wall team. Long Hao Tian suggested that, if they accept their request, you will take over the cooking. Fan Lam's side has no problem with this either. The next morning, Fan Lam introduced few members of the team, with Long Hao Tian. Then the whole group goes. On the way, they stopped to rest. And Long Hao Tian took the kitchen with the pot. Buy from online supermarket Ra. To prepare cooking. After a while, the finished hot sandwich and soup. When people taste it, everyone is constantly praised. Given that these are great delicacies, people have never enjoyed it. A soft cake like this. You're excited about your food. That made people feel good. Then they continue on their way. Suddenly 2 monsters appeared, but quickly destroyed in the blink of an eye. Next is a red boar. But after just a few blows, the wild boar was defeated. They harvest skin and fangs to sell. And the meat is stored by Long Hao Tian. In the afternoon they stopped at a location out of curiosity. People are watching you cook. But he was shy and asked them to turn away. You really don't want them to find out. The ingredients from the online supermarket. First he sautéed the bacon. Then stew joint with cabbage, carrots and potatoes bought from the supermarket. You have more sausage. It makes the food so appealing. Everyone who looks has to drool. When you're done with beef stew and bread, everyone is eager to try. Suddenly the air became silent. Makes you worry that the taste doesn't match. Soon everyone was in a hurry. I didn't know the food was that good. Fan Lam shared that. Food on the travels. Usually very simple and dry Khan. You should enjoy warm food like this. It's really amazing. At this time Long Hao Tian realized. It seems like your food can boost your stats. He tried to verify it and it was. This makes you start to worry. if someone finds out they could be in danger. So you decided to keep quiet. Everyone is still happy. Without realizing. From a distance there's a scary look watching them. The next morning they continued their journey. The group will camp here tonight. And you're still cooking. First you cut the meat into thick pieces. And then use a bottle of marinade from the supermarket. He chopped a cabbage-like vegetable. And put the marinated meat in the pan. The result is a sausage of wild boar. It's eye-catching. If you are hungry, you just want to eat it right away. Just tasted a piece. Feeling so happy that it's numb. It's so good that it twists your mouth. Raw cabbage served with pork is really good. If you put it all on a piece of bread and eat it, it tastes like a chair. It's so good there's nothing to argue about. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm hungry. Just kidding, review. When everyone is eating. Have a nice chat. Suddenly their faces changed. Turn around and look behind. It's the Lan, a legendary creature. He said, "Give me that food." Because he was too afraid, he immediately followed. Then, Lan ate voraciously but still not enough. He asked Long Hao Tien to do more. They quickly prepared a new batch of meat. But the Lan kept eating up. Long Hao Tien had to cook all the pork reserves. This monster is finally full. After eating, Lan looked at Hao Tien and said that, "You're an interesting person," and asked you to make a wish for it. Long Hao Tien felt unsteady so decided to refuse. But threatened by the Lan green face. "Look at everyone. You can't even nod your head like this." The Long Hao Tien finally accepted. Go ahead and start the contract-making ritual. A circle of light around the dragon Hao Tien. And so the contract was done. From now on, Long Hao Tien will be the lotus of Lan. The Lan is looking forward to the meals of Long Hao Tien. After the contract is completed, Long Hao Tien needs to give the Lan a name. You try the common names that are given to dogs. But Lan does not like. They say people are not dogs. Last Long Hao Tien. It's a pretty cool name for Chobop. Happy to agree. On the way. Everyone who saw Long Hao Tien's group also stayed away. It's all because of the presence of Lan. Everyone continue their journey to the kingdom of Fei Long. But Long Hao Tien is worried. Not know how to handle Sao when arriving at the border. Because if you keep going like this, they will be stopped by soldiers. Even though Sao's reputation is too hegemonic. They destroyed an entire nation. With such power. High-level world of Fei Long Kingdom. I will definitely not leave the dragon Hao Tien alone. You're just a normal person from another kingdom. Want to avoid trouble. But now it's getting more complicated. No matter what is difficult, there is a wind. Anyone who touches the wind will run away. The wrong person will fight. As they were talking, the group started to get hungry. Decided to rest. Long Hao Tien take raw materials raw. But suddenly remember that the meat reserves are running out. My dog ate most of it. You tell the wind that. If you want to eat meat, get more. You will cook later. They immediately rushed out looking for food. The group decided to create a fan club for Long Hao Tien. Because you can command the wind. Then the wind brought back a giant bird. It's amazing. This is a rock bird. A B-class monster. Even when the whole team is fully engaged. I'm not sure I can win this one either. Its nails and mines are of very high value. They can be sold in exchange for items. He agreed to keep the meat. Give the other parts to them. Once the meat has been processed, Long Hao Tien started cooking. He took a bottle of teriyaki sauce and sautéed the bird meat. Let the meat soak up the extra oil. Then boil the sauce and mix well with the meat. Finally, teriyaki sauce with onion soup is finished. Long Hao Tien invites everyone to enjoy. Long Hao Tien cooked most of the meat of the stone bird. Then the group continued their journey. They finally reached the borders of the kingdom of Renas, where a lot of soldiers are gathered. BG went ahead to explain. But the group is still blocked. The soldiers were surprised to see. The wind has actually made a wish with humans. But they're still worried. The power of wind. It could endanger the nation. Long Hao Tian and the wind is sure that if this place doesn't have bad intentions for them, they're not going to hurt anybody. After a debate. Captain Soldier. I agree with you and enter the kingdom. But asking the manager to pull the wind is good. Long agreed and said that if the wind makes a mess, you will fast. I heard that, and the wind gave in. My mouth murmured that Long Hao Tian was bullying me. Here to enter the kingdom, you need to be a member of the Adventurers Guild or Trade Association. If not, it costs 5 gold to enter. The monster lost 2 more gold. After many difficulties, the group finally entered the kingdom. Tan Lam warned Long Hao Tian that your work and the wind into the kingdom came to Tai Ba. Cai controls this area, and sooner or later will come to Tai King. However, Long Hao Tian and the wind, no intention of staying here long, because they're going to travel all over the world and combine sales of items from supermarkets. Fan Lam advised Long Hao Tian, you should sign up for the Adventurers Association or Trade Association, because if you belong to one of these 2 groups, you're exempt entry tax. Long Hao Tian is very confused. I don't know if I should join the trade union or Adventurers Guild. The whole group suggested that you should join both clubs to make it easier. You're happy to take notes. And the whole group goes into the city. But you don't expect that getting into the city also involves paying taxes. That's caused your pocket to drop significantly. While he was walking, he met the Earl's messenger. He invited you to visit his own house. Long Hao does not want to go at all. You two keep pushing back and forth. Makes the situation awkward. Everyone in the group is worried about Long Hao Tian. But you assured them there's nothing to be afraid of. For the Count's soldiers are nothing compared to the power of wind. In terms of power, only dragons are capable of dealing with the wind. The whole group breathed a sigh of relief. After completing the escort mission, Long Hao Tian signed the confirmation. And the whole team says goodbye to you. They thank you. Because it's a great experience. With warm meals. Long Hao Tian goodbye. And with the wind to the Merchants Guild. Receptionist started to introduce you about the Merchants Association. An international organization with 5 levels. Annual fee. Business size and content will vary, depending on the level. Long Hao Tian starts from the lowest class. Excellent class and get his membership body. However, he had to sleep outside the stable. Because the inn doesn't allow the demons in the room. It's time for dinner. Long Hao Tian starts cooking. You cut the meat into pieces. I thought this would be enough for the wind. Because I want to eat rice. He decided to buy another pot even though it was expensive. You start making food. Put the seasoned meat in the pan. Land fragrance radiating. It makes others not want to. When the meat is ripe, he sprinkled the holy sauce. It makes the food look attractive. Eat a piece of happiness uttered. Great, do more. Each piece of meat has a different flavor. The first is garlic. Then there's the radish flavor. Next is the onion and finally the mushroom. They just worry about eating. Surprise at the richness of the flavors that Long Hao Tian created. But his favorite is garlic. By evening Long Hao Tian's white rice pot was also ripe. You put the sliced meat on the steaming rice. Sprinkle more soy sauce. So we're done with the heterosexual version of pork rice. You take a piece of chopsticks. My God. It tastes so good that it makes people cry. Soft meat fat water mixed. With sauce served with white rice. It's delicious to drool. While enjoying this wonderful taste. The wind also wants to eat. I can't believe the rice is so good. Rice is always the best, right? The next morning I bought something from the supermarket. Go to the Merchant Association to resell. I just saw the front desk. Then run and call someone. A while later, the president of the business appeared to judge. He remarked that this is salt and pepper of the best quality that you've seen. maybe even to the king. When asked about the origin, Long Hao Tian faltered, dare not say. Because you only spent 5 pennies at the supermarket. The president started paying the price. For gold for salt and 10 gold for pepper. Long hair, you at the hell. There are only 5 coins. After a moment of hesitation, the president continues to raise prices. He ended up at 17 gold. 10 copper coins for 17 gold. God, getting rich is not hard. Money received. Long Hao Tian visited the adventure club to register. You fill in all the information and press your fingerprint to confirm. Adventure has a total of 7 categories. FA to D. In 1 month. If the trustee is injured, society will not be responsible. After being popularized regulations, Long Hao Tian received trust to collect 10 herbs. When you come back to the hotel, you eat together. And promise to make even better food. To the point of drooling. While Fong is eating, Long Hao Tian tested the index of lightning wind. Oh my god, the numbers are almost at their maximum. It's a monster. But in the eyes of the dragon, Lei Feng is just a greedy guy. The next day was beautiful. It is very suitable for Long Hao Tian to commit. Collect 10 herbs. The wind glowed for the first time. When I saw Long Hao Tian, I went to wash my face. Eyes for the second time. If you pull out the wind, you can ignore me. If you don't want to see your ancestors, feed me. But it has to be meat. He just wiped his head and asked for food. The two of them share the task. Long Hao Tian picked herbs and dragged the wind to hunt. Worry about your cynic. It creates a hard shield. Like the shield of Captain America. To protect Long Hao Tian from the surrounding demons. Due to due diligence skills, Long Hao Tian quickly completed the task. Collect 10 herbs. What ordinary people are looking for. Blurred vision is also difficult to complete. That's a great skill. Then you start preparing lunch. You buy ground beef and pork. Canned meat sauce and pasta. All I think about is spaghetti. Everything is ready. First he chopped the onions and fried them until they were soft. Next, put the meat in. After the meat is cooked, pour the meat sauce and add the broth. Bringing back a stone bird. Because you like meat. Last time you did. And some more. But you leave them at the edge of the forest and you'll come back for them. Hao Tian is adding salt-soaked pasta. After the pasta is ripe, you sprinkle the sauce you've made up of pork and beef sauce spaghetti. I recommend this dish with a bow. I just tried to bite the wind. Oh so soft, so delicious. The meat is small, but can't be stopped. He sprinkled more grated cheese on the maple and praised. You are so strong. Long Hao Tian also enjoys the taste of home. In a strange place. It feels so good. Delicious. The king spoke. A real lunch. I laugh softly when I think about this. Oh my god, what the hell are you doing? But that's what it looks like, it's all food. This one too. He climbed on his back to return to the Adventurers Guild. At first, it seems light. But the later it gets complicated. When you get there, you're tired. The receptionist confirmed that you had completed your mission. And quite surprisingly, when a rookie like you can do that, the reward is 8 silver for the tree. And a silver 3 for the ghost tree. Then the Lord went down to the barn. To sell back some of the magical beasts that Fawn had hunted. God confirmed. These are all high-end items. It can be sold at a very high price. He asked me to cut all the meat. The other items you will sell out. With this number. Your uncle told you to come back tomorrow. He also gave me a snail to eat for dinner today. Once you decided you were going to bake them, you prepare the ingredients for cooking. First, cut the meat into pieces. Then slice it thinly, sprinkle some salt and pepper. You beat the eggs with grated cheese. Sprinkle some flour on the meat. Then dip the meat in the egg. You finally put the meat in the pan. Because the meat is very thin, you just need to grill it a little. You add parsley and finish the rest of the meat. Come here. This child's integrity is about to drop. You sprinkle the rest of the sauce. From light up finish 2 types of pork with meat sauce. The dish is light and plump and very soft. My wholesaler also followed the meat plate. I was hungry, but I remembered this was meat. You are so hungry, you have to take a bite. This is brand name pork. The real top, you exclaimed. The next morning he returned to the Adventurers Association to get the money from the meat sale. After subtracting the butcher's money and buying back the ingredients, a total of 202 gold. He was shocked, and he explained every material and their use. Finally, I gave you a magic stone. The magic stone is only found in a class A magic beast or higher. Then God confirmed to you that this is the Fenia wolf race. It's not a normal wolf. Because he was an adventurer. Long Hao Tian received. It's time to leave this city. To end the rumors about Fenia. It's like making a contract with people. Both start the journey. After a long walk, they decided to stop. Just stood up, Fenia asked to eat right away. Thanks to Fenia. That today they can enjoy a hearty meal. Both start ordering online. Long Hao Tian put a bunch of meat for Fenia. Because you love every one of them. I'm ordering. I thought it was raining. Turns out it's Fenia's saliva. It is still hot when the goods arrive. It's a plate of meat from Earth. Long Hao Tian invited Fenia to eat. But he didn't wait to rush in and eat. Fenia compliments the crispy outer meat. Soft inside. Long Hao Tian explained that. This beef is from cows. Very well taken care of. Fenia is surprised that in your world, just hunting monsters is enough to eat. While eating, Fenia both chewed and summarized. Compliment the irresistible delicious beef. After meals Fenia feel full of energy. Even joked that. It doesn't matter if we fight dragons now. Hear that? Long Hao Tian checked his stats and released. The strength of Fenia is increased by 50%. Venice wants to go hunting. He also gave Long Hao Tian a super shield. Can resist the breath of a dragon. Then Venice launches. I don't know what to do next. Dragon decided to go to bed. When you're ready, you fall into a dream. Fenia is already very strong. Now I get more power from food. He used thunder magic. Just one blow knocked out the giant deer. Next is another monster leader. But it's not a rival to Fenia. He shouted, dare to challenge me. Take the wrath of the thunder. And just one blow. The strongest monster of the night is destroyed. Look at this scene. Long Hao Tian decided. Let Fenia eat beef from now on. A long way to go. Long Hao Tian and Fenia stopped for lunch. Today's dish is grilled chicken. Let this be the best. The skin must be baked slowly until crispy. Served with lemon butter sauce to stimulate the taste buds. While eating, Long Hao Tian wonder. Can I use magic? Hear that? Fenia showed off her most powerful magic. And explained that there's only one. Magic is being able to use magic. Long Hao Tian turned on the index board to see. I found out I had a little magic. You asked Fenia to teach you how to use magic. But when Fenia explained that. Just apply the formula. Long Hao feels like giving up. But you don't give up. When trying to apply the formula. Long Hao Tian discovered. I just made a blank sheet of paper. Instead of magic. Fenia asked Long Hao Tian to touch him to understand the problem. Turned out to use magic. The power needs to circulate inside the body. If successful. The next step is to release the magic. Long Hao Tian's first training goal. It's a can of water. See Long Hao Tian turn fireball. It's so terrible. The group decided to take him to a field trip with a Robin knows you're strong. A Robin or two doesn't work. So they let you handle a whole bunch of them yourself. Then go somewhere else to buy things. Long Hao Tian shouted to staff tonight. Then you're alone against the aggressive Robin. Unfortunately, you fell. I thought I was going to be born again. Fortunately, Fong's barrier protected him. Take that opportunity. Long Hao Tian took extremely powerful fireball. They killed some robins. But he also collapsed because he ran out of magic. Thanks fail. That night Long Hao Tien dreamed of cute Robin. Not only that. You're up a few levels, the stats are up. To celebrate bringing out a Robin superior, there are magic stones for Long Hao Tien to sell for money. However, the amount of money from the previous sale of raw materials is still. So they don't celebrate at all. Special. He also mentioned skipping the RU. That Long Hao Tien craved. Long after that, Long Hao decided to get up and cook. But the battle is still going on. So today, he decided to eat sweets to replenish his energy. The first is melon pie. Just a little way in. Your mood is also better. See Long Hao Tien delicious food. The wind also started to try. But a plate of melon pie isn't enough. Let's take Fong Xin one more. Long Hao Tien refused. For fear of eating too many sweets, you will get sick. However, Fong received great protection of the wind goddess. Everything that has a negative effect on your body is disabled. I feel the wind is too good. Long Hao Tien only knows how to laugh except. Then I pray to God to protect me. Maybe some mysterious person. I have heard the request of Long Hao Tien. In the morning you arrived in the city. They were stopped by soldiers at the gate. That's because the boy followed. You look so cute. You give me your card. To verify that he is the boy's servant. Suddenly he heard the voice of the wind. It turns out this is telepathy. It's an ability to help people who have a phantom contract. Communication through thought. After being approved, the first thing Long wanted to do is to find a map to navigate. Avoid getting lost. It's like a character with green hair. The battle has just ended, and the dragon has fallen. When you wake up, you see the glass next to you. The most surprising thing is, now the glass has spoken. By destroying the giant monster, that glass spirits have evolved. From baby slime to adult slime. But what about the long tail? You've also mastered earth magic. I haven't seen Fong since. Turns out while you're sleeping, he went to get something to eat. So it's all safe. To celebrate the victory, Long Hao Tien decided to treat his two boots. A new dish. He prepared ingredients including onion eggs, soy sauce, sugar and rice indispensable. First he chopped the onions and cut the meat into pieces. Next, beat Ra's egg and beat it gently. Then he mixed a mixture of dashi soy sauce, sugar and spices add to the pan. And then put the meat into cooking. When the meat is done, you add half the eggs. Cover and simmer on low heat. After a while the eggs are laid. Put the rest in and turn off the stove. Finally he put the mixture on the cooked rice. So the delicious, hot rock bird meat aragua. Complete both boots on standby. You can eat it without a doubt. The delicious taste of stony bird meat, combined with greasy sauce and soft rice. It's amazing. After a full meal, Long Hao Tien talked about. He talked to the crystal while he slept. Turns out you two talked a lot. The glass spirit even called the lightning rod. It's lovely. I'm laughing at this, guys. On your side, be shy. Bullies are not allowed to call me that. That sounds old. But really, you're not young anymore. You are 1,000 years older than me. The glass is only 14 days old. That's what I was yelling at. Make the glass spirit burst into tears. See that? He finally accepted it for himself. The glass spirits call me uncle. Glass spirit, thank you Fu Fong. With a really cute voice. That's the end of a hard day. With a smile on my lips. The next day the BA continued their journey. Go to the kingdom of God. But to get there, they had to cross the local forest of two-headed wolves and evil falcons. Because the detour is too long, I decided to go straight for quick. However, Long Hao Tien was afraid that he would die. Not coming back. I beg you, please choose another way. But with the power of the wind, he didn't worry and decided to move on. Go for a while. He sensed the danger and stopped. Soon the group was surrounded by wolves. As long as you glared at some of the scowls. Looks like this is just a bunch of kids who haven't experienced life. I decided to teach them a lesson. At the same time tell Long Hao Tian and Glass to scatter away. He warned the wolves for the last time. But they didn't listen, they rushed to attack. I use a great trick and thank you. To quickly take down the first one. Now the wolves realize they've hit the wrong person. And fear of running away. After everything is fine. Long Hao Tian and the glass spirit ran out. I was curious about your previous skills. But look at the smug look on the wind's face. Dragon doesn't want to hear anymore. The glass is curious. Can I be as strong as the wind? But he lovingly replied. What is the strength of this glass spirit? Just be cute like this forever. Wait until evening when preparing cooking tools. Long Hao Tian kept startled. Because there's a roar in the air. People are scared and you keep asking for food. Make Long Hao Tian upset. But it's the glass spirit's turn to eat. He ran to rub your head again. Why is that discriminatory? Think for a moment. I have decided that today's meal will be new. Made from snake meat. I said, go buy more ingredients to prepare for cooking. First scraping meat out of bone. Then sliced into bite-sized pieces. Then sprinkle the sugar and knead it gently. Next add sa millet wine and salt. Let the wine soak into the meat. While waiting to chop the vegetables. Then, prepare the sauce by mixing common spices. More Sichuan tofu sauce. Chili sauce and finally soy sauce to increase the flavor. When the meat is drunk, add potato starch. Stir-fry and stir-fry ginger and garlic. Then fry the meat. At the same time add onion sauce. The last white onion. Add some potato flour to thicken the sauce. While processing fragrance. A food that everyone can't resist. Black and white chili sauce finished, but to reassure yourself. You tell yourself this is chicken. Delicious piece of meat. It's so hot that it amazes you because of its great taste. I can't even enjoy the second piece. The eaters appear. Grab the meat plate and eat. Devouring sweet salty sauce mixed with meat. Make AI also fascinated. Makes you have to cook more. To serve these two bottomless bellies. You still feel good though. Because the food is loved by everyone. Fortunately, there are some pieces of meat left. You eat quickly to fill your hungry stomach. The next morning the group continued through the forest. And into the falcon's territory. Suddenly. The wind stopped when a rare fungus was detected. Has a restorative effect. See its wonderful use. Long Hao Tian also picked a little. For reserve and for glass reagent test. After eating a lot of mushrooms. The spirit glass body suddenly glowed. Check what you found. The glass is unlocked. Skills in regenerative medicine. Thanks so. Glass has successfully made half a bottle. Superior restorative medicine. Capable of healing fatal wounds. Out of the glass. It's also possible to make many different drugs. To surprise you. Because of the power and talent of this slime baby. Continue the journey. All three of them encountered a talking falcon. He wants to fight the wind. To be recognized by the herd and become a leader. See the falcon's determination. He agreed but did not hold back. Long Hao Tian prompted light wind. Because you know the outcome. The battle begins. To dodge the entire falcon's attack. And kick it. Make it fly away. Falcon feather enhancer. Create blind spots and attack at lightning speed. But the wind still dodged success. And created giant tornado. Caused the falcon serious injury. Not conscientious. Long Hao Tian used recovery drugs. Help the falcon heal. The bird was glad to know that it had been injured. The beast in legend. It calls the herd and is recognized as the leader. And gave Long Hao Tian a feather. With this feather. You will be safe to go through their territory. It's getting dark. Thank you for protecting the team. You decide to cook a lot of delicious food. You prepare a pot of rice and the first ingredients. Get the soft snail meat. Wheat flour, beaten eggs and bread crumbs, respectively. Then fry in hot oil. After frying, cut into small pieces with a knife and add cabbage. Finally sprinkle the sauce. So we're done with the fried meat and the steaming snail meat. I saw my 2 children eating excitedly. You also joined the party. To take a bite. You can't help but eat the rice. Because the food is so good. Finished eating. You've got to go make more sauce for your sand boots. At the same time, he was reminded that you forgot to sacrifice to the goddess. You startled and immediately did it. Finally, the group came out of the forest to the endless plain. Look at the map of the spirit kingdom right in front of you. But the problem is that the meat reserves are running out. I heard that, and I ran off looking for a shortcut. To get to the city quickly. On the road, you see a group of people being attacked by pirates. He said that if you save them, you're going to be a big party tonight. Listen to this. The integrity of the wind is no longer there. Go to a place of chaos. As predicted. The escort is fighting the bandits. The wind roared. They were terrified and warned them that if you dare to do it, he will swallow it all. By dragging the traveling merchant regiment to be saved. Then both sides get used to the way. Long Hao Tianxin went together and was agreed. On the way, people talk about the fact that Long Hao Tian owns God. Lang is Louis Phone. I didn't expect the news to be so fast. It turns out it's thanks to the teleportation. Long Hao Tian only knows how to pray. There's no trouble. It just stopped at night. He reminded me that you have to treat him. Find a quiet place to cook. There is not much meat left. So you decided to do a little bit of each. First you cut the chicken breast. Put the meat in the bag and add steak and soy sauce. Then sprinkle some flour. Shake vigorously and fry in a hot oil pan. The rustling sound was real Thai. Finally, karaoke with a variety of meats is completed. 2 babies lounging outside, crispy inside soft. I eat forever. Because I'm so engrossed in cooking. Long Hao Tian did not realize the danger was lurking. The escort was attracted by the smell. Please try it. They couldn't find it and said, oh, it's delicious. What a shame to eat, brothers. Soon enough. The meat was eaten clean and there were no pieces left. You haven't even tasted a piece. Go to bed to get hungry. Then the bandits are mouths. These guys are bored, aren't they? And I haven't heard the bandits since. The next morning you arrived in the city. The Kia thieves were also handed over to the soldiers. By the way, you and your group escort to the guild. To check his guild card. As predicted. Your card has expired due to being in the forest for too long. Unable to accept the task within a month. So you have to re-register. At the same time, you have added new members. Is the baby glass slime spirit. When you just took Ra's spirit glass slime. Everyone around laughed. If I were you, I'd have the glass spirit sprayed with acid. They're all dead. After completing the procedure, you use butcher services to deal with demonic beasts. I just saw the entire convoy. Even more open-mouthed. When they know the meat they ate yesterday. It's the high-class meat from these magical beasts. They bowed their heads, sorry for eating one. Such a dishonest way. But to be honest, it's delicious. To give thanks. The captain promised to protect you in this city. Whoever touches you, just call me. That night you want to rest. Then she goes back and asks for it. You have to wake up. Buy a bunch of pudding and jelly for her. Let's eat some cigars. The next morning you're in front of the task force. It takes 100 points to get from goat to press. But the task of collecting 10 herbs only got 2 points. See that? You are on a mission to destroy Gobin. Up to 3 points. Want to get promoted quickly? You bite your teeth. He left a plate of food and started his journey. The first stop is the bookstore. But the owner said there's no map. Instead, you buy a book. Learn magic and go to the city library. However, the results are no better. For coming back late. Long Hao Tian decided to order food for the wind. The first dish is a keto. It's made of frozen bird meat and tomato cups. Be skewered and baked. The second dish is fried meat. It's made from red pork and fried pork brains. Enjoy these two items in a delicious way. Delicious taste. Outer brittle crust. The soft meat inside makes every bite great. Look at the delicious maple. Long hao tian feels so warm. You are loyal to white rice. Fried meat soaked in sauce this time. When you're eating well. Standing behind him, demanding more food. But you said you'd save it. The next morning Long Hao Tian came to the pub. To keep looking to buy a map. Here. 3 hoodlums invited you to sit at the table and talk. Because you invited them to drink. So these 3 people revealed some information about the situation. The current country. I asked him to buy a map for $1. After a moment of thought, I decided to buy. But soon you find out you've been cheated. Because this map is sold at the Adventurers Guild. For only 1 silver. Even if I bought it. Long Hao Tian with the wind. Continue your journey to the east. In excitement and fun. The mysterious person I mentioned before. That's her. The wind goddess is the guardian of the wind. And are looking at Hao Tian very closely. No one knows what's going on in your head. Back to Long Hao Tian. You're riding on your back. To move to the sea. I want to eat fish early. The wind stopped beside a large lake. So today we both decided to rest here. Long Hao Tian wondered. I don't know where to catch fish. But pull the wind forward. And use thunder magic. To paralyze all the fish in the lake. People should not learn this way. Because the incarceration rate is very high. I feel sorry for the fish. Long Hao Tian decided to give them charity. My stomach. This is purple salmon that's great for baking with salt. And this is king salmon. I want to eat all the fish. It's pink, blue, blue. Because when you eat, there is a tingling sensation of the tip of the tongue. It's delicious, but it's a poisonous fish. Food is not good. But if you eat only water. To see grandparents. And finally the wind agreed to ignore it. Because I don't want to be hungry. To make salted grilled fish, you need a fire stove. So we've got to get the necessary tools together. While Long Hao Tian was buying butter and mushroom flour. The wind keeps echoing in the ear the words meat. Meat and meat. Of course Long Hao Tian was annoyed. Because there were fish, the wind demanded more meat. It is claimed by the elephant. Watching SAO while cooking is amazing. Long Hao Tian started pre-processing fish. Removal of organs. Wash with water on the stick and sprinkle a lot of salt. Then bake it up. Next is king salmon. First leave the first part. All scabs and organs. Cut the body along the spine. Do the same with the other side. The finished product is almost as beautiful as Hoshi Fan. Then. Long Hao Tian put the onion on the banknote that was spread with butter. Put the fish on top. Sprinkled with salt and pepper. Add chicken thigh mushroom and needle mushroom under a little SA wine. Add a piece of butter and wrap it and bake it. The third dish is grilled fish. Long Hao Tian sprinkled a little pepper salt on the fish. Drain the water. Coat it with a thin layer of powder. Bake until it's crispy. All dishes are finished. There are 3 dishes made of fish today. The first is salted grilled purple salmon. Next up is salmon king roasted foil. And finally, the king salmon. One bite feels like an electric current is coming through. It's so delicious that it's irresistible. The fish skin is both fragrant and extremely crispy. Long Hao Tian has prepared a can of beer. For refreshment just ate a few pieces. Form has finished eating and more sauce. Long Hao Tian went to work more for him. After a full meal. Long Hao plans to solve the job. I suddenly came across a cute creature. A slime. These are harmless creatures in this world. Their main food is garbage, so the area. The surroundings quickly become clean. It seems like Long Hao Tian and slime have become close. So much so that they accidentally made a pact with each other. Long Hao Tian named slime a spirit glass. The next morning Long Hao Tian practiced earth magic. But the results were not as expected. After training, Long Hao Tian had to go to the kitchen to cook for the wind. This time I also made more glass. Today's dish is miso kaki don made from snail meat. delicious and hot. Both glassware and wind. Please have one more. Because it's so good right now. Long Hao Tian realized. Since when have I been used to food in this world? Not out of the way to eat. Glass spirit can also wash 8. And even clean clothes. It's different from the wind. They just wait for food to be delivered to their mouths. Glad to have more spirit glass join us. Long Hao Tian decided to make dessert. Ducky cake and green tea. It feels so clean and comfortable. The wind alone has never seen enough. Ask Long Hao Tian to do more with a covetous face. Long Hao Tian happy. Because we both love this dessert. The next morning. The wind looks thoughtful and serious. Then he called the Dragon Emperor to inform him that. Your previous request. It was approved by the Wind Goddess. From now on, you will receive the protection of the peace. But on the condition that every week. You have to give her sweets. Thanks to this protection. You will be immortal and can master magic. But don't forget about worship. Every week you wonder why it's sweet. But to be protected, you have to accept it. About how to worship. You just need to find a stone. As an altar and prayerfully. When you hear about the details of the cake that needs to be offered. You realize. This goddess simply wants to eat well. Sweet set including bean cake. Ice cream cake, melon cake and milk coffee. I think this is a lean saw. And then you recite the mantra. Eat to eat and protect me. A blue light appeared around him. You have been protected by the goddess. As soon as you receive the food. She ate and had a seizure because it was so delicious. They eat slowly to save. But your stomach is weird. You are now the VIP version of Long Hao Tian. Try earth magic again and you will be more proficient. The power of destruction is also slightly greater. For training to the point of exhausting magic power. You replenish your energy with chocolate bars. Chocolate and black coffee cans. I know you guys are hungry right now. I just came back and smelled the smell of food. You have to share a plate. Eat to the point that there is always a risk of diabetes. Suddenly. You can hear the voice of peace with a cool face. They say this is a message from God. Bring that girl up here for me. In addition, she also asked for Ragaki clothes. But it seems like you just gave it up a few days ago. That's it. That's right. You have to buy more to give it back. When you really see the food, your eyes light up. When you're done, I urge you to get on your back. To keep traveling. But the look on his face was so dark. And then the BA continued to move forward together. It turned out to be carrying the arrogant dragon to a temple. In order for you to master earth magic. But the arrogant dragon is so afraid that only. Look at the entrance to the temple. It's already shaking. You're worried that I will be captured by monsters. I have to plead with you that my work is not good. I'm scared, but it's completely useless. He assured me that there are no scary monsters in here. And at the same time, I will protect you. He emphasized that you need to practice to get stronger. Because from now on, there will be times when you can't protect yourself. So you have to protect yourself. You also understand the problem. So I decided to have one last meal. Before marching off to battle. And here's a bunch of really interesting dishes. What is lemon skewers barbecue fried meat casserole? Pizza UI my stomach is aching. After eating all this, you will be more confident to go to the bar. Because when you eat them, your stats go up. Maybe that'll help you survive. You said you started eating. While the wind is still rustling. The first is crispy fried snail meat. Next is the hot and fragrant skewers. You keep eating every meal. Every piece is delicious. Finally, he had an addictive cake for dessert. Towards the sparkling glass and the wind. I also started to eat. Because I've been looking at Hao Tian food that causes spicy. After a full meal. EA is about to move into the single sun. Without even knowing that there's hell ahead. The first enemy they encountered was a slime. But because it looks a lot like glass. So Long Hao Tian hesitated to act. Find Long Hao Tian awkward. Instant glass spray acid solution. Make the slime evaporate. I immediately saw that top attack. The wind that. Spirit glass is a special individual. I'm beginning to question the identity of this slime. Then I saw my partner being killed. Another slime to avenge. He was also killed by a bullet. But this is just the beginning. This place is a dangerous land, where anything from animals to humans, if you die here, will become food for this cave. The monsters that live here will gradually evolve, whether the enemy is strong or weak. As long as you invade this place, you will be attacked. There are only a few slime. Don't be complacent or you will lose your life. After that, the three continued down to the deeper levels. Face the crazy rabbit and other aggressive monsters. But the next level is not that simple. This is the home of wolves. In the story of Little Red Riding Hood, I especially like to eat the meat of Long Hao Tien. You know that running doesn't escape. Long Hao Tien decided to return to risk his life, using giant supersized bullets, to shout the fever of two evil old wolves. Now, your bullet could fire 3 bullets at a time. What are you afraid of? You said to yourself with great enthusiasm. All 3 continue to the last floor. I just saw a wolf. Long Hao Tien as if to stroke on the spot. I see you want to give up on them. I also support you to fight. Just finish the sentence. He pushed you down. To befriend the evil wolf Kia. Look at the wolves. I know how much they want to touch the ocean. For being too afraid, you frantically attacked with bullets. The glass also helps with acid. After a while both. I've killed most of these coyotes. 2 were lucky to escape. Run and inform the leader. But only hear the sound. I saw them thrown out. Then a giant wolf came out. On the hand of the battle axe. It roared and started attacking. Long Hao Tien tried to fight back with stone bullets. But its skin is too hard to be excited. So desperate. You use all your magic power to launch a powerful bullet. The wolf exploded. But that's not enough to beat it. That's real cow shit. Having exhausted his magic power, he accepted his fate. But right now, the sword of the wind saved your life. At the same time, Spirit Glass rushed to the rescue with extremely strong acid rays. Made the wolf roll unconscious immediately. Remember, if you are jealous tomorrow, you will throw water. Don't spill acid. The consequences will be like this wolf. To the place. Flexible glass slime quick handle beautiful BA con Robin. Next step. You have to cut off their hands as evidence. But because he was so scared, he screamed math. Which unwittingly attracted a whole flock of robins. Let the baby worry. The glass sputtered and fluttered a few times. Go bin flying colors. That's enough to get promoted. Now you've got to deal with these bodies. You came up with the idea. Thanks to the glass that melts them. Just finished, the spirit glass has dusted the body. They even use their own magic. This slime is crazy, people. After a while, I didn't see the robin anymore. After cleaning, it was time to eat. Because I'm tired today. The whole group decided to enjoy the cake earlier. And then switch to a very eye-catching meat-based salty cake. The yellow and white and greasy cake. Good to hard to resist. Then choose a hot dog. Big and long and tough. With a very special taste. Crispy powder outer layer. It's also mixed with a lot of flavor. Long Hao Tien. Relax with a cool can of coffee. 3 people enjoy a delicious meal together. Mouth after a full meal. Long Hao Tien returned to the Adventurers Association. To confirm that the task has been completed. Sun Ghost, you can predict what will happen. And that's right. You killed too many robins. Got the president's attention. The president invited Long Hao Tien. And dragged the wind into his own room. To exchange. He praised Long Hao Tien as a talented young man. Then read a letter from the palace. The contents of the letter announcing that Long Hao Tien can freely act in the country. This at the same time. To announce this to all the nobles in the territory. However, when the country needs, Long Hao Tien must support. There is nothing free in the world. Next, the president mentioned the promotion. For Long Hao Tian. He decided to use his authority to thank Long Hao Tian from goat to sea immediately. However, to achieve this, Long Hao Tian must meet some requirements from the president. It's not clear what the specific mission is. Long Hao Tian and the wind both agreed first. In addition, Long Hao Tian asked the president to buy help some raw materials. It's got green snail meat, a juicy meat that's famous for its delicacy. Great in the evening. You can eat whatever you want to eat at Long Hao Tian's 2 booths, as long as there is meat. Long Hao Tian bought some ingredients and start cooking. First you boil the bird and then you cut the vegetables. Next you and the glass spirit together tearing the bird's flesh into small pieces. The meat looks a bit small, but when you sprinkle more delicious sesame sauce, the bang bang chicken is done. But one dish is enough. So he decided to make some green pepper fried chicken. After marinating meat, you've prepared the bell peppers. Put them all in the frying pan. It looks like a cow when you shake it. Whatever you say, make a beer first. Then you start to enjoy the main course. Sesame sauce brings a new flavor. After eating, clean up and go to bed. I find the wind quite difficult. You buy a mattress for boots. The next morning, you came to the guild to get a C-class adventurer's card. I also received the money from yesterday's sales. A total of 1,946 gold. Bring this much money. You're no different than a mobile gold mine. Silence is golden, but a lot of teeth are missing. Next, take a request from the president. Punish metal lizards and crazy cows. Especially the meat of mad cow is succulent. When you hear about good beef, AI is also excited. Before leaving, he went to the old merchant's shop to shop. You want to buy a new bag. But because there are so many, so you'd prefer a bag that's comfortable. After considering, you choose a leather bag. You also bought a belt, a small bag and a new pair of shoes for luxury. Total damage is 1 gold. But the boss didn't take the money, because AI takes money from its benefactor. Besides, he asked you, if you catch a black snake next time, sell it to you. Because black and white is a rare commodity. It was dark after the sale. Because you mentioned snakes, the 2 bots want to eat snakes today. More than bumper today. So he decided to make a hearty meal. You make chicken like last time. But this time fry twice to increase the crispness of the oil. Frying twice makes the dish crisper, but still retain its softness. Take a bite. Oh my god. Crispness combined with juicy interior. That's great. I've just put the plate down on 2 feeding booths, like a machine. Soon the clean plate caught. But there's still plenty of meat to eat. It's really great today. 2 booths so full that I can't eat anymore. Take care of the kids and start eating. First you made beer cans boots. Oh, my god, it's fried with beer. Nothing compares to. Looking over the cow, I saw 2 calves sleeping soundly. Looks so cute. And you're back, watching the moon while enjoying a delicious dinner. The next day Long Hao Tian group. Start doing the tasks that the president assigned. I don't know where the metal lizard is. It seems that Fong has found its location. In a cave filled with rare minerals. It seems that by eating this mineral, it's evolved into a different, more advanced species. Now, its skin is resistant to most types of magic. But with the high-level thunder magic of lightning, any resistance is useless. It is not good to die when you are eating. That's poor. Seeing this or can make armor. You're going to pick up some. But the wind said, who has my boundaries and what do you do with armor? It's crazy. The team also decided to finish it. The other task is to punish the mad cow in front. You sit there and drag the wind and the spirit glass ahead. Out of curiosity you also crawled to the story. Then I heard the cry of the cows. I'm going to eat beef. A glass body to give you a hand. Put the cows in the trunk. After cleaning up, it's time to eat. Today they're going to have a snail sandwich and a rock bird sandwich. The taste of eating under the sky. The more delicious the food, There's also fresh water with GA for refreshment. He poured the glass and drank it. They both admire. What kind of water is this delicious? The tongue twitches too hard. But drinking a lot is easy to get diabetes. After dinner, the group returned to the reporting. The president is no surprise with what you do. It's known that this lizard is extremely rare. It hasn't appeared in 400 years. Where there is it, there will be an extremely rich or mine for the Lord. The harvest of its skin will be offered to the king. The total amount you get is 5,000 gold. Enough to eat happily for a lifetime. But the president wants you to keep this quiet. More importantly, there's premium beef now. The whole group made a delicious meal. First, cut the meat into thick slices. Cut salt and pepper before baking. Bake on both sides for a minute. After baking, put it in foil and wait 5 minutes. So the mad cow steak is done. Look at his face. I just took a bite, and it's like an electric shock. It's a delicious steak. The beef is off the table. It tastes better than Wagyu. It's also served with sauces. I didn't feel bad about how much I ate before. Not enough time to rest after eating. You must offer a sacrifice to the goddess of peace. She asked for more of her favorite food. It's food. Suddenly you hear the voices of the other goddesses. They also ask the arrogant to offer sacrifices for protection. But now you know. If the protection doesn't match the endowment, it's also useless. You have a gift for fire and earth. The goddess of fire and the goddess of earth. I gave you protection. Everyone seems to have forgotten the water god. She knows you get nothing even if you protect her. I cry because I can't eat sweets. See that? Then he asked her to protect him. Finally, you're going to make a sacrifice to all 4 goddesses. The next morning he tried fire and earth magic again. Much stronger than before. I don't get tired too much. It's your turn to try water magic. The result is even worse. BA goddess. Accidentally increased power 2 hand for glass spirit. I see that, uncle. Jump into solo demand with glass spirit. But are you crazy? How to fight back? He continued to use earth magic. To build a small house. Sleep for warmth. While the wind hunts a black snake. But let's eat and sleep tomorrow. The next morning he cleaned his bed. Then we went to the Adventurers Guild to get the meat. Yesterday, they asked them to operate with the money for raw materials. Due is for wrapped. A few hundred gold is not much. You even ask them to dissect the black snake. Then the group went home and started cooking. So today, I decided to make a new one. You pulled out your new meat grinder. It's expensive. First you grind mad beef. The glass also wants to do it, but it looks strange. Next is the meat. You start cutting onions, but it's expensive. Then you mix the 2 meats and some ingredients. Knead and shape the round member. Do you know what to eat? You start frying meat. After baking on both sides, add water and steam. My nose smells good. Next is the sauce. Finally the hamburger. Combination of 2 finished meats. Turn around and see the wind flowing. Plump saliva. It must be delicious. Just took a bite. The succulence flowed straight down the throat. It's really delicious. Remember to wash your clothes after eating. I haven't washed my clothes in too long. But the soap here doesn't foam very well. So by the way, you bought a new shampoo and soap. Then he stopped by the merchant. To resell the black snake skin. Price is 50 gold. He also brought soap and shampoo. Ask if it can be used. The merchant was delighted to know him. Long Hao Tian. It's your wedding anniversary in 2 weeks. But he didn't know what to give his wife. I'm tired of giving jewelry all the time. You're lucky you gave these. His wife loves soaking in the bath. She'll definitely like it. When you heard about the bath, you asked to visit right away. This is a real bath. It's too much now. So you decided to make one. The trader will try these products tonight. Before giving his wife. But before he could, his wife found out. My husband used it so well. She also tried and found that the effect was beyond expectations. So he suggested, you sell this product to the market. It will definitely be $1 billion deal. Then you come to the Adventurers Guild. To get the reward from the previous mission. Oh my god. There's only 1,800 gold. Preparing to save money. It was announced that a group of evil dragon monsters appeared in the western steppe. There are serious casualties and the situation is very urgent. Long Hao Tian immediately took his medicine bottle to help people. It's a miracle drug. After the situation stabilizes, the captain gave an urgent order to destroy the evil dragon as soon as possible, or they'll destroy the city. Then you come to the Adventurers Guild to get the reward from the previous mission. Oh my god. There's only 1,800 gold. Preparing to save money. It was announced that a group of evil dragon monsters appeared in the western steppe. There are serious casualties and the situation is very urgent. Long Hao Tian immediately took his medicine bottle to help people. It's a miracle drug. After the situation stabilizes, the president gave an emergency order. We must destroy the evil dragon as soon as possible, or they'll destroy the city. Right now. He came in and announced that he would take care of the evil dragons. The president agreed. Assigned the task of destroying the evil dragon Cho Long Hao Tian. And then BAs on their way. The wind also enlisted. He taught me how to fight the enemy. Know how to fly. For flying prey, aim for the head or the wings. Long Hao Tian. I tried it for the first time, but it worked pretty well. Then there's the fiery battle with the evil dragons. The results need not be said. Victory belongs to them. There's going to be meat to eat. Too much exercise, so hungry. This time you're making hamburgers. But with an extra layer of cover. After some preparation, you start deep frying. Meat piece oil. So finish the fried dragon meat. With 2 kinds of minced meat. The outer shell is brittle. It's very succulent inside. You eat and you make beer cans. This is the best way to eat under the sky.